What up, YouTube? Ed coming back with a video that's been in the works for quite a little while. A couple people have been asking me about this. Shout out to Amish Steve 22, Steve Broncos on IRP, and also Brad 8671. A lot of these guys over the years have been asking me to show off the Eagles PC or just try to do a showcase video to show off some of this stuff. And I don't do too many showcase videos up on the channel, but I figured since today is the draft, the NFL draft is today. The Eagles last year had such an insanely phenomenal draft. Howie Roseman was just an absolute wizard wearing my Super Bowl Cooper DeJean jersey for this video, rocking it out. So figured, you know what? Let's finally show off some of these Eagles cards in my collection. These are all raw, no graded cards, so I think some people will be happy about that. But let's get into it. So I've accumulated these cards, ever since I've been collecting Eagles cards. There's a lot of them have stories, so I'll get into them when I show them. But I don't know how long this particular video is going to be. I think I'm shooting for maybe 20 to 30 minutes. But I figured it's better to use this particular form to do the video live than to film it on my phone, just because it's going to take up a lot of space if I do it on the phone. So let's get into some of these cards. So the first one here, you got to start off with this particular player. This is from 2000 Prestige. This is good old number 5, Donovan McNabb. I think this was like the first McNabb autograph I bought. So from 2000 Prestige. And these are all autograph cards, by the way, that I'm going to be showing off. So starting off with number 5. There's the back. And we're going to be starting quarterback heavy, by the way, because I love collecting the quarterbacks for the Eagles, even the obscure ones who may have only played in a couple handful of games or something like that. This guy's the perfect example here. We have a Kevin Kolb patch autograph, and he was supposed to replace McNabb. Obviously didn't go that way. Mike Vick kind of took the job away from him, and the Kevin Kolb era lasted maybe 1 or 2 games after he got concussed against I think it was the Green Bay Packers. I'm pretty sure Clay Matthews just took him out. There's the back. I hope these cards aren't being seen backwards, but I think they are. Oh well. At least I'm attempting to do the video here. Next, Absolute Football 2013. The guy who replaced Kevin Kolb. We got Michael Vick. Shout out to Nolan, Elite Go 3. That's numbered out of 49. There's the back. This is from Limited 2014. Ron Jaworski. Jaws took the Eagles to the Super Bowl in 1980. Still works for the Eagles. He's on the pre and post game from Comcast Sportsnet. So he's always in tune with the Eagles. And he was saying early on that the Eagles, last year, that the Eagles would be poised for a deep run, and Jaws was definitely on the money there. Here's another Jaws autograph. This is one of his earlier autos. I think this is from the 90s. Got this one out of a value box. This is one of the cooler ones, in my opinion, because it's just so obscure. And I challenge anyone to try to find this guy in an Eagles uniform with an autograph card. But this is from National Treasures. This is numbered out of 25. 2015 National Treasures autograph of Sam Bradford, Sammy B. Chip Kelly was infatuated with this guy, so they traded for him. And to my knowledge, he has very, 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 very few Eagles autographs. But Sam Bradford, numbered out of 25. So there's that. This card I purchased at the 2019 National. I see Big Smooths in here, so he'll get a kick out of this card. But bought this at the National in 2019, and this is probably one of like this is a really bad purchase that I made. I think I paid like $150 for it. Obviously, it didn't work out now, but this guy played a pivotal role in Eagles history, and it is none other than Carson Wentz, and this is his Origins autograph. So, if you don't know, Carson Wentz was the starting quarterback for the Eagles the year that they won the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Carson Wentz went down against the Rams, had a really nasty knee injury, so he was out for the year. Nick Foles came in, and the rest is history. They went on that incredible run and were able to defeat the Goliaths, the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick, and Tom Brady. But Wentz that year was the MVP frontrunner. He was poised to probably win the MVP in all of football, and he got hurt, and Foles won the Super Bowl, and he really never recovered from that uh, with the Eagles. Then he goes to the Colts, didn't really have success there, and then I believe he went to I can't even remember where he went to after the Colts, but I think he's a backup somewhere. I know he was on the Chiefs last year as their backup to Mahomes, but yeah, Carson Wentz always will have a staple in Eagles history. So that's why you want to always keep these cards as cool reminders. This is the only other Wentz autograph I've had in the collection, and this was the one that I really, really liked the design of. This is the Donruss Optic one. So really nice on-card autograph there. The rated rookie. I mean, I remember at one point these Wentz cards that I'm showing you guys were like insanely expensive because Carson Wentz was like mega popular with among Eagles fans in particular. Like I remember I actually got thrown out of a couple Eagles fan groups for voicing some disconcerting opinions about Carson Wentz. Like he was a very protected, I guess, uh, fiercely protected player. People did not like criticism of Carson Wentz. So he was incredibly popular among the Eagles fan base. And I know at the time there was tons of people um, collecting him like crazy. Remember at the National in 2021, there was one dealer in particular. I have a video up on it on the channel where the guy literally had three showcases filled of all Carson Wentz cards and all his like a whole case of 101s. And I believe he was from North. The dealer was from North Dakota. Fun fact: the following year at the National, so this was 2021. In 2022, did not see that dealer and have not seen that dealer since. So I don't know what happened to him. This card is one of my favorites in my Eagles collection. Very, very tough card to find, but this is from 2007 Donruss playoff. This is numbered 7 out of 10 of Brian Westbrook and Donovan McNabb. And that is from the Super Bowl. It's one of those Super Bowl autos, and that is from the Super Bowl where the Eagles were defeated by the Patriots. They lost by 3 points. But these are the two players, the two marquee Eagles at the time. I really wish T.O. was on the card, maybe instead of Westbrook. That would have been like amazing, but still a really, really cool card. Number 7 out of 10 there. So just an incredibly tough to find, and I've never seen another one of these pop up anywhere, even in all the. And I've had this card for many, many years, but I've just never seen another one pop up on any secondary sites like eBay or anything like that. So I guess they're all in collections. Next, we got the Ultimate Weapon, Randall Cunningham, and I believe this was a gift that was sent to me years ago. A nice autograph there of Randall, and that is numbered out of 99. Let's see the back. Then we got turning back the clock here. This is from Topps. This is the 60th anniversary autographs. They were really on the rage back at the 2016 National. Guys were, I think they were redemptions, honestly, from Topps. And there was a lot of people were pulling heat. I remember, I think the big pulls were LT and Dan the Man. But one of those guys in the set was Sonny Jurgensen. So, a little old school there. Here's the back. Those 60th anniversaries, if you guys remember. Then we got good old. This guy's a kind of like a. If you were around in the late '90s, this guy was kind of like a. What's the right word here? A fan favorite, I guess you can say. Well, no, I'm confusing him with his brother. This is Ty Detmer. So this is Ty Detmer's one of his only Eagles autographs there. That's from Skybox. I was confusing him with Coy. So here's the back. Little Ty Detmer. Coy's definitely in here. He'll be popping on up. Bobby Hoyen. I'm sure many Eagles fans over the age of 30 remember him. Didn't have really a good Eagles career. It's from SP Authentic. Had that upside down. Here's Coy. Got an autograph here of Coy Detmer. Fan favorite. Was on the team for many, many years because Andy Reid really liked having him around. Kind of was the placeholder for field goals and punts. So, Coy Detmer. This guy got a crazy contract because of a couple really good games. AJ Feely. AJ Feely rookie ticket. Went to the, I believe the Dolphins gave him a pretty big contract because he was the third string quarterback for the Eagles when McNabb got hurt, and I believe it might have been Jeff Garcia was the other one that went down. So AJ Feely took the ring, or it might have been Coy Detmer. Anyway, AJ Feely was the third stringer, came in, had a couple really good games, and got a really nice payday from several teams because of that. So good for him. Next, Mike Kafka. I think most people in the hobby will remember him being saturated in like pretty much every single product when he was coming out. Here's another one. That's out of Triple Threads. Matt Barkley. A lot of UFC, oh no, USC, excuse me. People really were going crazy over his cards when he was coming out as well. And then here is good old Nick Foles, Super Bowl MVP. That's out of Crown Royale. Colt Hero in Philadelphia. So we're going to get a bunch of Nick Foles here. There's another one. This was the first one I ever bought from Inception. I think I paid $20 for that at the time. This is my favorite Nick Foles autograph card. Bought this off Josh Stott Style 21 back in the day. So this is from 2014 Panini Flawless. This is the green emerald. This is numbered 4 out of 5. Fun fact, I did see the numbered out of 10 version at the Philly show, the last Philly show. I might have been with Ty or Scott, and I made a comment about it, but I think the dealer had it marked for like a really stupid amount. But I have the one numbered out of 5, which is the green color match. And there it is, Nick Foles from Flawless. Probably one of my favorite, is my favorite Nick Foles card, Nick Foles autograph card in the collection. So there's that. And then I do have 2 Jalen Hurts autographs. One is slabbed, so it's not in this video because I just want to show raw cards. But the other one I bought at the Neshaminy Mall card show from the dealer I always buy from, and still have it in the original team bag and price sticker that he charged me. But this is numbered out of 149 from 2020, rookie jersey autograph of Jalen Hurts. Super Bowl MVP. There you can see the back. So yeah. This is out of the 2 Jalen Hurts autographs I have, this one is definitely my favorite, just because of how I got it, who I bought it from, where I bought it from, the fact that other people passed on the card because I remember at the time people were looking through the showcases and Hurts wasn't as popular at the time, and also because of the price I paid for it, which is I guess you could say was a steal. But yeah, just a really awesome card. Then what I really like Jalen Hurts just because of the whole underdog mentality around him, and just the way he approaches the game, and how like he had so much negative criticism thrown his way, but he was able to rise above and being disrespected for quite a long time, but then going performing on the biggest stage incredibly well twice. I mean, even in the Super Bowl that they lost against the Chiefs, he absolutely balled out, and you could have made an argument that he could have been the MVP of that game too. Definitely outperformed Mahomes in that game, and then to get back this year and to win the way that they won in the style that they won. I mean, that's like Disney movie ending stuff. So I'll be curious to see what the Eagles do this season coming up. But yeah, so let's get into more of these autographs. This one I showed off recently. This is Jeff Garcia. Is that this year's select? Is the blue. That one's numbered. We got Mangini's boy, Kenny Pickett. So this is a cool card. Kenny Pickett's no longer going to be on the Eagles. I believe he's on the Browns now, going to be playing for a starting job. But Kenny Pickett will always have a place in Eagles history because one, he was on the Super Bowl team, but two, he was the final. He was the one that did the knee final play in that Super Bowl victory formation, victory Kenny Pickett to seal the deal against the Chiefs. So the Eagles fans will always highly regard Kenny Pickett. Plus, he played in. He's one tough son of a bitch. He played in one game with a cracked rib. I think a couple cracked ribs, and just like gutted it out. So he was worth every penny. Awesome player, and I hope he does well with the Browns and is able to get a legitimate starting job and show what he's capable of. There we go with Doug Peterson, one of those old Fleer Ultra cards from the 90s, hand numbered. But coach of the Eagles for when they beat the Patriots. This one I bought from a Philly show. So this one just immediately caught my eye because it's a quarterback, but it's also Jim McMahon, who you would not think of for the Eagles. So kind of a unique autograph there, kind of like a Sam Bradford situation, where it's like a quarterback who like you think of like when you think of Sam Bradford, you think of the Rams, and when you think of Jim McMahon, you obviously think of the Bears. So you don't necessarily think of the Eagles. So whenever I see kind of like unique stuff like that, I love that the card companies do that. Um, so to add one of those into the collection, here's another Nick Foles that somehow got through the cracks. I think that's from National Treasures. Go through a couple of the comments here. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm sure the majority will watch on the archive, especially the people who I mentioned earlier who've been asking about these videos. My phone's ringing. I'm going to mute this for a second. Bowman, nice to see you in here, Alex. Thanks for stopping on by. Glad it's an Eagles showcase and not a Phillies showcase. Ed sound off on how terrible the Phillies are playing right now. I don't know if you're still in here, Alex, but honestly, like, I'm not surprised on the Philly struggles. I talk about like in private group chats that I'm in with like Ray, Mike, Reese, a couple other guys who are also Phillies fans. They just didn't do anything in the off season, and they seriously Dave Dombrowski and Rob Thompson seriously thought that having Castellanos, Rojas, and Marsh was somehow going to be a winning formula. That outfield is just I can't even find the right words to describe how bad that outfield would be. I don't know how you're getting any offensive production out of that outfield. And then the bullpen is just a complete mess. They let go of Hoffman and Estevez, who are both doing fantastic. I mean, Hoffman with the Jays and Estevez with the Royals, but their solution was to sign Jordan Romano, who's just been absolutely abysmal. And I think it might be a long season for them. So I'm not that surprised that they're struggling, but it is early. Maybe they can turn the corner. I'm not too hopeful for that. Thank God for that. But the silver lining is if you're a Philadelphia sports fan, Thank God for the Eagles. Thank God for the Eagles. The IRP fellas in here. Kirk Cousins. Bill was definitely a big fan of Wentz. So thanks, guys, for these comments. Appreciate it. 2 autographs, but can you identify which one belongs to whom? I think you were talking about that dual autograph with McNabb and Westbrook definitely has a unique signature, so we able to tell the difference. Spidey Aranya, thanks for stopping on in, man. Appreciate you. Best Eagle of all time was Darren Sproles. Love that guy. Dom, what up? Appreciate you stopping on in. Good afternoon, evening, Ed. How you doing, Nate? Thanks for stopping on in. But I'll show off a couple more cards. So, get through these stacks. Get through this stack. So, we're obviously going to be moving away from the quarterbacks here. I think those were all the quarterback autographs I showed. So, next we're going to get into some other cards. And we're going to start off with one of the best defensive players in Eagles history. One of. We obviously know who the best one is. But we got Brian Dawkins here. Again, another card I bought from the National. This one I bought at the 2018 National in Cleveland. Bought this from RBI Crew 7. Still in the original team bag and one touch, and still has the price sticker on there. If you guys can see that. But yeah, bought this from RBI Crew 7. Awesome Brian Dawkins card. Here's another B-Dawk. This is the Hall of Fame. Those excellence autographs. That's on card from Optic. Beautiful card there. That is numbered out of 25. So then we got Chris Carter, another Hall of Famer, all-time great wide receiver for the Vikings. Started his career with the Eagles, didn't end particularly well with the Eagles. And as you can imagine, this is one of those 60th anniversary Topps cards that we showed already for the Jurgensen. But this one is for the Chris Carter. We got one of the Super Bowl heroes here. This guy was an absolute tank, an absolute beast. LeGarrette Blount from Select. This guy was a one-man wrecking crew if you needed him for short yardage. He had a lot of big plays, too, in the Eagles Super Bowl. Didn't score a touchdown, but he broke off quite a number of plays in that Super Bowl and in the run-up to it. He was just a phenomenal signing for the Eagles. Another very popular fan favorite, Philly Blunt. And that is numbered out of 15. This guy's pretty popular. Works for ESPN. Always giving hot takes, but LaShawn McCoy, that's a 5-star autograph. All-time leading Eagles rusher. McCoy's autograph, though, oh man, that thing is all over the place. This is from 2010, Topps 5-star, and it is numbered out of 20. There you go. Real thick card. Compared to this signature, look how beautiful that is. Brian Westbrook from Upper Deck. Just a really clean autograph there. And that one is also numbered out of 10. So numbered 7 out of 10. So some of these low number cards that you really don't see often. I will say, like, some people will dunk on football cards. but there are certain teams are like hardcore collected. I mean, very, very, very collected. And the Eagles are definitely one of those teams that are really hardcore collected because every time I'm going in any of these groups on Facebook, there are some like really insane collections out there for Eagles cards. And there's some people who they'll show off certain cards and they really make it known that they want that card and they'll just like make insane offers to get some of these cards. And but I don't partake because I just want to keep what I keep and collect what I collect because there's so many memories and associations with a lot of these cards. Speaking of which, we got Honey Dijon, aka Deshaun Jackson. That's a cool card. I just like how he's wearing the gloves there, and you can see the Eagles logo on it. This one's numbered out of 15, 7 out of 15. Just a really cool, neat looking card. This one's really sweet. This is from what? It's numbered out of 99. This is from Prime Signatures Football. I don't know if Panini still makes that, but this is a dual autograph card. Two very beautiful signatures here. You have Howard Carmichael and you have Wilbert Montgomery. So the dual autograph card. Beautiful signatures there. Numbered out of 99. Can't recall where I got this particular card from. Not sure. This was a gift. I think maybe Brad gave this to me. But this is from Immaculate Jordan Matthews autograph. Numbered out of 99. One of those patch autographs. This was gifted to me. This one's numbered out of 25. This is out of Flawless. I don't know if it was Brad or maybe it was one of the IRP fellows who gave this one to me. But this is we got like a old school swatch in there. Herm Edwards. Play to win the game, baby. You play to win the game. Miracle at the Meadowlands. Love the photo that they used there. There's the back. Dom, if you're still in here, you'll like this card because Darren Sproles is on it. But we have a dual autograph card. This is the Prime Pairings, numbered out of 25, of LaShawn McCoy and Darren Sproles. I know you like that one. I bought this card a couple years ago. This I remember in particular because it cost me a pretty decent penny, and I wanted to get this card because it had the three players on it from the Eagles' first Super Bowl win who were very, very instrumental on the defense. And this is the passing of the torch. All these guys are now retired, which is kind of crazy because Eagles Super Bowl in 28 they were just playing in 2018, but that just goes to show, uh, you know, it's really really hard to have longevity and to stay in the league with how violently these guys are hitting each other. I know people say the game nowadays it's like some guys will say it's flag football, but these guys are still getting hurt, they're still getting injured, and they're bigger, stronger, faster, and they're just wrecking. Some guys are getting wrecked out there. Um, I saw a picture of Andrew Luck a couple days ago, and man, he looks. It's hard to believe he's only in his 30s, but he looks like he's in his 50s. He's the poor guy. But this is the passing of the torch auto, and we got Malcolm Jenkins, Fletcher Cox, and Chris Long. And that is numbered out of 10. All three big cogs in the Eagles defense. And I know that Eagles defense got absolutely eviscerated by Brady in that Super Bowl. Brady threw for like 500 yards. But they did make the one play. They only had to make one play, and fortunately, Brandon Graham was there at the right place at the right time, and Derek Barnett was at the right place at the right time to make that one play, the Brady fumble, to pretty much secure the win. This next card here, another card I bought at the National. This is from the 2016 National NAC. Another card I bought from RBI Crew 7. This is kind of a cool card for the obscure part of the collection, but this is from Black Diamond. If you guys remember Black Diamond, numbered 7 out of 10. Wonder when was the last time anyone's seen this card. But we got DeMarco Murray, who, if you remember, Cowboy fans, this guy had tremendous success with the Cowboys, but then he came to the Eagles, and I don't think Chip Kelly properly utilized him, and he really did not do anything with the Eagles, and then he kind of faded away. But it still has the original price sticker on there, as you can see, $20. This was in a value box. And like Baseball Collector said, you don't pay sticker, son. So then I got it for less than that, but just a cool card. We're at 36 minutes. Might go a little bit longer. I'll show a couple more cards here. Still have a lot more. This whole box is filled and didn't even show the whole thing. We'll show the rest of the cards here that are top loaded. So let's see a couple comments. Orlando, thanks for stopping on in. Appreciate you. Of course, my IRP guys got the information right here. 2016 was the last year of Prime Signatures, but that was after a gap in years. Yeah, some of these products aren't even made anymore. Speaking of DeMarco Murray, here's another one. This is from Definitive, Topps Definitive. So this is definitely not made anymore. We got DeMarco Murray. Mr. Chris Long autograph. Got a couple Chris Long autographs in the collection. Speak of the man, this is the rookie ticket, right place at the right time. Picked up the ball. Mr. Derek Barnett. I believe he retired. I want to say this year or last year. But will always be remembered as the guy who picked up the ball when Brady fumbled. So Derek Barnett, rookie ticket. This guy's still in the league. I think he was on Buffalo. Mac Hollins, autograph. There's an old school Eagle Hall of Famer from Playoff Contenders 2010. Autograph of Pete Retzlaff. Awesome card there. Here's the back. Then we got 2 Concrete Charlies. Lear Greats. Chuck Bednarik. 2-way player. Incredible in the defense. And we got this card. This is the Sports Illustrated. So I think Chuck Bednarik is a good place to end here. I still got a lot more cards to go, but I think 40 minutes is enough of your viewing pleasure to take up. I do want to thank everyone that stopped in and left a comment. Here we go. We got Phillies versus Cubs. I think the Cubs are going to open a can. I'm guessing Eagles fans are still enjoying the Super Bowl victory. I'll never forget the Falcons Super Bowl victory. 2016. Didn't get to see the whole game because I had work Monday, but I get it. That was very incredibly painful for you guys. Incredibly painful. So we won't even make any jokes at your expense for that, Carlisle. But thanks, guys, for watching. Greatly appreciated. And if you guys collect football, or you collect a certain player, or you collect a certain team, do a showcase video, show off some of your cards, appreciate what you got. Um, I know sometimes a lot of the videos, I like to document my collection, do my mail day videos, and um, you know, approach how I do YouTube that way, and just document everything when I'm picking up at card shows and things like that. But um, I think it's cool to go back and to appreciate what you got. And I've been doing that recently. Been going through my Phillies PC, my non-sports, my Eagles, and a lot of the times when I look at these cards, it does bring back so many memories. Even like a card like like the black, like this card, like the like you wouldn't think anything of a DeMarco Murray card, but I look at this card and I think the 2016 National and AC, my first time going to the National, meeting RBI Crew 7, who these guys were mega on YouTube, and just going through, like, for years I heard how great and incredible to go through the value boxes of RBI Crew 7, and then you get to the National and, there's like 5 rows deep of people going through the value boxes, and then you go through and you find an Eagles card for the collection, one numbered out of 10, and all these years later, in 2025, look at that card and it takes you back to that National, takes you back going through those boxes and saying, "Oh man, I wish I would have bought that. I wish I would have bought that." But just memories, man. Cards are memories, and I think not to get on my soapbox here to steal Vinny's thunder, but I think we're missing that a little bit from people. I'm not in general, in the hobby in general. I think too many times we're just being shackled to the monetary side of things, and we're not appreciating, like, that these cards for a lot of collectors are memories. You look back at certain things, when you bought them, or who were you with. I look at a Nick Foles card and I instantly think of the Super Bowl when the Eagles finally won the Super Bowl, and just like all the pain, heartbreak, sorrow of all the previous defeats and all the gut wrenching losses from the Andy Reid era. But then you look at certain cards like the Chris Long, Fletcher Cox, Nick Foles, and you just think, oh my God. Then the same thing with Jalen Hurts. You think of the pain from that one Super Bowl, but then it's redeemed through what they did this year. So cards are memories, and yeah, I'm sure most people know that, but I digress. So thanks, guys, for watching. Appreciate you taking the time, and have fun in the hobby. Don't take things too seriously. Keep that blood pressure low. Peace.